Good morning, everyone. My name is Mansi Deepak Gorle. I am from LLB 5 years 3rd sem from Dr. Panjabrao Deshmukh College of Law, Amravati. The subject is economics and my topic of discussion here is labor by Dr. Apeksha Bhumkarma. The index has the following points, which includes introduction, factor of production, then next is meaning of labor, meaning of wages, as well as features of labor, then meaning of division of labor, types of division of labor, as well as advantage and disadvantages of the division of labor, and conclusion. Then our first point is introduction. Introduction includes the goods and services are made by the factors of production. According to Professor George, production is the relationship between input of productive services per unit of time and output of productive services per unit of time. There is a formula to calculate the factor of production, which is factor of production is equal to total output upon total input. Generally, there are 4 types of factor of production, which includes the following types: land, labor, capital, and organization. Land is for rent, labor is for wages, capital is for interest, and organization is for profit. The next is meaning of labor. Meaning of labor means, according to S.E. Thomas, labor consists of all efforts, which includes mental efforts as well as body efforts, which are undertaken in the expectation of reward. For example, teacher, doctor, lawyers, advocates, and officers, etc. Next is meaning of wages. According to Benham, the wage may be defined as the sum of money paid under a contract by an employer to employee for the services rendered. Then it is called as wages. For example, salary, commission, brokerages, profit, interest, and etc. Next is features of labor. Features of labor has the following points. First is labor is perishable. Labor is perishable, that means it cannot be stored. It will perish once the time is lost, it will last forever. The next feature of labor is labor cannot be separated from the laborer. That means land and capital can be separated from their owner, but labor cannot be separated from the laborer. Then third is less mobility. As compared to capital and other goods, labor has less mobility. That means it cannot be moved or transferred from one place to another easily, but capital can be moved or transferred from one place to another very easily. Then fourth feature is supply of labor is inelastic. Supply of labor is inelastic, that means it is fixed in the quantity. It cannot be increased or decreased according to its demand. In fact, supply of labor totally depends upon the size of the population, and size of the population cannot be increased or decreased easily. Then fifth feature is labor has weak bargaining power. Labor has weak bargaining power because it cannot be stored. In fact, they are poor, less organized, and ignorant, and hence they has weak bargaining power. Then last feature is labor is an active factor of production. Land and capital both are the passive factor of production because they can be produced anything by itself, but labor cannot be produced anything by itself, and hence it is active factor of production. Then next is meaning of division of labor. Division of labor means splitting of work into processes and sub-processes, and work allotted to any individual worker or any person according to their ability, capacity, and training. Then it is called as division of labor. Next is types of division of labor. There are 3 types of division of labor. First is simple division of labor, second is complex division of labor, and third one is territorial division of labor. Simple division of labor includes work allotted to any individual or any person or any worker according to its occupation, in fact based upon its occupation. For example, doctor, teacher, lawyer, advocates, officers, and etc. Second is complex division of labor. Complex division of labor includes cloth making process, which has 18 types like cleaning, cutting, weaving, finishing, and etc. Then third is territorial division of labor. It is also called as geographical division of labor. For example, in fact, territorial division of labor means specialty of a particular city or a particular state. For example, West Bengal is famous for jute, Assam is famous for tea production. Then after that, Rajasthan is famous for the tourism. Maharashtra is famous for the cotton textile industry, that means for the cotton production. And Punjab is famous for the wheat production. The next are the advantages of the division of labor. First advantage of the division of labor is increase in production. Increase in production includes no doubt that division of labor and specialization often leads to increase in the production because various experts along the production process work together to boost greater productivity. If many persons are asked to do a job instead of one person, then obviously there will be an efficient and greater outcome. Second is time saving. Another advantage of the division of labor is that it helps to save time that would have been wasted in moving from one operation to another. This is so where the job that needs to be requires a lot of skill. And instead of moving from one operation to another, it saves our time. Third is development of greater skills. Consistency is what grows the experience of any worker in any profession. Division of labor as well as specialization enables workers to develop greater skill as well as experience through repetition of the same process. Then fourth advantage is lower unit cost. There is no doubt that division of labor and specialization often leads to increase in the production because various experts along the production process work together to boost greater productivity, and hence that is large quantities are produced within the less time and product cost will be less. The next is less fatigue. Less fatigue means in division of labor, workers concentrates only on a small portion of production, and since they make use of machines and works together to boost greater productivity, and so they does not get tired easily. The next advantage of the division of labor is production of standard goods. Division of labor as well as specialization both helps to produce standard goods which possesses the same specializations like same color, weight, shape, etc. The next is increase in use of machines. There is no doubt that division of labor and specialization often leads to increase in production which implies the more use of machines. In fact, day by day the use of machines are increasing in a small scale production also. Then last division of labor, that means the last advantage of the division of labor is increase in employment opportunities. Governments of many countries have adopted the concept of division of labor and specialization to increase the employment opportunities in their country to about 50%. It is the best way or the best method to kill or to remove the unemployment among youths and crime rate in the country. The next is disadvantage of the division of labor, which has following sub-points. First disadvantage is monotony or repetition. Monotony or repetition means in division of labor, workers performs the same job on the daily basis. The job therefore becomes monotonous and boring to him, and this may lead to loss of interest in the job. Then second disadvantage is decline in craftsmanship. Because of the more use of machines, workers may now make longer use of their skills and mind. Rather, they became machine minded. Then third disadvantage is increased dependence.